Greetings, writers, and welcome to day one of our Writers Workshop. I wanted to kick off our Writers Workshop today by sharing with you the very first piece of writing advice I received in elementary school from one of my writing teachers. I was sitting down and I was really frustrated and struggling to get my ideas on the paper. And the teacher came over and gave me advice that I still follow to this day in my writing journey. And she said, write what you know. Write what you know. Sounds so simple, but for me, that piece of information was freeing because I felt free because I felt like I was trying to write what other people wanted me to write instead of writing what I wanted to write, writing what was my truth, what was inside of me. And it also gave me confidence as a writer because it made me think, hey, I do have something to say that's valuable and is worth hearing. And I just have to figure out how to tell it. So, as somebody who has had a challenging and trying relationship with writing, who doesn't love the process but loves the finished product, that was important information and advice for me to hear. So I passed that along to you. And in the spirit of writing what we know, we're going to kick off today's class by writing about a word that has deep importance in each and every one of your lives, a word that you probably hear multiple times a day. And that word is your name. So I want you to grab a piece of paper, grab a writing utensil, and I want you to tell the story of how you got your name. You might choose to focus on your given name, the name that's on your birth certificate, the name that your parents or your guardian gave you, or you might choose to focus on your chosen name, the name that your friends call you, the name that when you hear it, you're like, yeah, that's me. That's what I like to be called. So, to give you some inspiration, I'm going to tell you the story of how I got my name. So, my full name is Siobhan Alicia Comic, first name being Siobhan, and that's what I'm going to focus on for this story. I do, however, prefer that you call me Miss Comic. But my story begins way before I was even born. And when my mom was pregnant with me, she thought she was going to have a boy. And she picked out this name that she loved and adored, and that name was Jonathan. Well, surprise, surprise, they say when you make plans, God laughs. Because when I was born, I was very much a girl. And this caused my mom a little bit of stress because she had spent so much time picking out this perfect name. So I was that baby who sat in the nursery for 3 days before my mom came up with the name. And she kind of had this stroke of inspiration. Her first name was Sharon, her middle name was Levon, and she thought, hey, I'll combine it and create this new name that I love, Siobhan. And that has been my name to this day. And what's really amazing is, or interesting, is as I got older and I started to meet people from different cultures, different walks of life, I met a woman who was from Ireland and who told me that in Gaelic is a language spoken by some in Ireland, that in Gaelic my name means God is gracious. So it's really interesting how my name has evolved and changed, and my relationship to my name has evolved and changed. So I want you to take some time, we'll say maybe 5 minutes, and tell the story of how you got your name. And if you don't know the story of how you got your name, that's okay. Tell the story of how you think you got your name. And maybe tonight you'll have something to talk about with your parents around the dinner table. Happy writing.